Are you serious? Are you serious? Well, it's getting very serious in Iran. Matter of fact, protesting breaking out everywhere now, spontaneously taking place in Iran. And President Trump is all over it. Matter of fact, he tweeted in the last 14 hours, a few hours ago, he said, many reports of peaceful protests by Iranian citizens fed up with the regime's corruption and its squandering of the nation's wealth to fund terrorism abroad. Iran's government should respect their people's rights, including the right to express themselves. The world is watching. Now, while the president is standing and supporting the protesters of the Iranians, a wave of spontaneous protest over Iran's weak economy is sweeping through Tehran today, with college students and others chanting against the government just hours after hardliners held their own rallies in support of the Islamic Republic's clerical establishment. The demonstrations appear to be the largest to strike Iran since the protests that followed the country's disputed 2009 presidential elections. You may remember that. And Iran went out and started shooting into the crowds and killing about 400 people, innocent. Well, the demonstrations appear to be the largest since then. Thousands already have taken to the streets of the cities across Iran, beginning at first on Thursday in Mashhad, the country's second largest city and a holy site for Shiite pilgrims. The protest in the Iranian capital of Tehran, as well as U.S. President Donald J. Trump tweeting about them, has raised the stakes. It also apparently forced state-run television in Iran to break its silence and to actually acknowledge that it was actually happening, reported on them on orders from security officials. Counter-revolution groups and foreign media are continuing their organized efforts to misuse the people's economic and livelihood problems and their legitimate demands to provide an opportunity for unlawful gatherings and possibly chaos, says state-run TV. The protest, apparently sparked by social media posts and a surge in prices of basic food supplies like eggs and poultry. Officials in state media made a point Saturday of saying Iranians have the right to protest and they have their voices heard on social issues. However, protesters in Tehran on Saturday chanted against the high-ranking government officials and made other political statements, according to the semi-official Fars news agency. Hundreds of students. Others joined a new economic protest at Tehran University, while riot police massing at the school's gates as they shut down the surrounding roads. Fars news agency also has said that protests on Friday, yesterday, also struck Qom, a city that is the world's foremost center for Shiite Islamic scholarship and home to major Shiite shrine. Social media videos show clashes between protesters and police in several areas, and at least 50 protesters have been arrested since Thursday, according to state-run television. And also some protesters chanted the name of Iran one-time Shah, who fled in exile back in 1979 during the Islamic Revolution. So you have moderate Iranians who used to live under a democracy when the Shah of Iran was in charge, and they're chanting his name now. Earlier Saturday, hardliners rallied across the country to support the supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, while other rallies scheduled commemorated a mass of the 2009 pro-government rally challenging those who rejected the re-election of hardline President Mohammed Maud Ahmadinejad amid the fraud allegations. So, Iran is starting to fall apart. The wheels are starting to come off on the regime of the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The president, Hassan Rouhani, he is not strong enough to hold this thing together. What's happening is this. Iran came against Israel. Iran cursed Israel. Iran said they were forming an axis of resistance against President Trump's decision that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. And so what they did was they built a coalition, Iran, Hamas, and Hezbollah, to come against Israel in what they call the axis of resistance. Also, Iran has been supporting the Houthi rebels, attacking Saudi Arabia and the Muslim religion of the Sunni brand. And so what's happening is cursing of Israel. The Bible says the Lord will curse them that curse Israel, and he will seek to destroy all nations that come against Israel. You don't want to touch the apple of God's eye, but anti-Semitism is growing around the world. Take a look at Germany today. They're chanting in the streets against Jews, and of course other parts of the world. This growing sense in France and other parts of Europe. We're seeing it even in all kinds of different locations, but it's all part of biblical prophecy that's coming to pass. It's amazing. Tomorrow night I'm holding, of course, my New Year's Eve broadcast starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. I go till past the midnight hour. I'm going to reveal my 18 very important points, things to watch for in 2018. 18 things to watch for in 2018. It's fascinating. And so I've been in prayer and I've been praying, and we got our eyes open. We're watching in the Spirit of the Lord and actually watching the manifestation of things in the natural. And we'll be ready to reveal that tomorrow night. So you don't want to miss it. The 18 things to watch for in 2018, a prophetic look into the coming year. Are you serious? Give your life to Jesus Christ. We are living in the last days. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing, and there's some good things that God's going to do in 2018, big time. You don't want to miss it. I'll see you. See you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for the New Year's Eve special. It's also the 7th anniversary of the 5,000 blackbirds that fell out of the sky in Beebe, Arkansas, to bring in the year of 2011, which a very prophetic year that was. I'll be back with more in just a moment.